Hello and welcome back to this week's segment of the Aquatic News Network, where we bring the stories of the water to life. Oh, that's the way to start a morning. And welcome back, all you crazy conservation connoisseurs, you fish aficionados. And welcome to the Aquatic News Network, where we cast a wide net over aquatic issues. Today, we're tackling an urgent topic: the impact of changing waterways on local fish ecosystems. It's a story that spans everything from warming waters to habitat loss, and yes, even some unwelcome aquatic invaders.
Oh, I was almost late. You guys were almost. Don't do it again. But anyways, that's right, Tommy. Our waterways are undergoing significant changes due to climate change, urban development, pollution, and more. These shifts are disrupting fish's populations in ways that could ripple across the entire ecosystems. So buckle up, folks, because there is a lot to unpack here.
Let's start with the rising temperatures. As waterways warm, cold water fish species like trout, salmon, whitefish find themselves in hostile environments. These species are highly temperature sensitive, requiring cool, rich, oxygenated water to survive. Warmer water holds less oxygen, which means these fish are essentially swimming in a low oxygen zone. Imagine running a marathon at high altitude. Not ideal. You'll be gasping.
It's a great analogy, Jim, and the impacts don't stop there. Warmer temperatures can also speed up the metabolism of many fish species, meaning they require more oxygen at a time when less is available. It's a vicious cycle, and we're not just talking about individual fish. The entire food chain feels the strain. Predators like eagles, bears, and even humans who rely on these fish are also affected.
Well, next, let's talk about reduced water levels. Many regions are experiencing decreased water flow due to drought, over extraction, and altered rainfall patterns. This has led to a shrinking of habitats, ponds turning into puddles, and rivers losing their width and depth. Fish are being squeezed into tighter spaces, which has increased competition for resources like food, hiding spots, overcrowding, also making them more susceptible to disease and predators.
And don't forget about the sediment. Changing water flow disrupts the natural movement of sediment, which is vital for maintaining spawning grounds. Certain fish, like salmon, rely on clean, gravelly riverbeds to lay their eggs. Increased sedimentation from runoff and erosion can smother these eggs, effectively cutting off the next generation before it even gets started.
And that is something that none of us want, being conservation minded hobbyists. So now we move on to invasive species, the uninvited guests who just won't leave. Changing waterways can create new pathways for these species to spread, and boy, do they take advantage. Take zebra mussels, for example. These little hitchhikers latch onto boats and travel to new waters where they outcompete native species and clog up ecosystems like unpaid rent.
Oh, yeah, and let's not forget that sea lampreys, nature's version of vampires, they attach themselves to other fish, feeding off their blood, leaving them weakened or dead. The arrival of this invasive species can decimate local fish populations. They can disrupt food webs, economic damage to fishing and tourism. I mean, why don't more people know about this?
Pollution is another player in this story. Urban runoff, agricultural chemicals, untreated wastewater are turning some waterways into toxic soup. Excess nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus fuel algae blooms, which can deplete oxygen levels and create dead zones where few organisms can survive. It's a 1-2 punch for water quality and habitat degeneration.
Right, Jim. We're also seeing microplastics entering waterways at alarming rates. These tiny plastic particles are ingested by fish and birds, leading to health issues that can work their way up the food chain. It's not just an environmental problem, it's a public health concern as well.
True. So, what can we do about all this? Conservation efforts are more important than ever. Protecting and restoring wetlands can help absorb excess nutrients and improve water quality. Better regulations on pollutants can minimize harmful runoff. And let's not forget the role of sustainable water management in maintaining healthy ecosystems. One small thing that you can do at home is to stop throwing garbage out of your window. Take a Walmart bag, put it in your car, put your garbage in there. I see this all the time. I see this all the time. Stop being lazy. Can we edit that out?
Community action plays a big role too. From organized cleanup efforts to advocating for strong environmental policies, individuals can make a difference. Even small changes, like using fewer fertilizers or reducing water waste, can add up.
Well, that's all for this special report. The health of our waterways isn't just a fish issue, it's a human issue. When ecosystems suffer, we all suffer. But with the right actions, we can turn the tide together.
Coming up next, Jim tries to convince us why seaweed snacks should replace potato chips. Hint, it's not just because they're green either.
Don't knock it until you try it, Jesse. Seaweed is a superfood, and hey, it's good for oceans too.
I tried them. It's going to be rough for you, that one, Jim.
Thanks for tuning in to the Aquatic News Network. Stay informed, stay engaged, and as always, keep swimming forward.
Welcome to the Aquatic Network News. I am Mark with Pyle Aquatics, and I am out today at the Richland Chambers Wildlife Management Area. This is a wildlife management area that's just south of Dallas. This was created to help offset some of the pollution and nutrients that are being dumped into the Trinity River after it goes through Dallas. So as the water runs through the Trinity River, some of that is pumped out into these wetlands behind me. This is a series of ponds. This is just one of the many ponds throughout this whole area that is used to purify water. It's much like your aquarium. They pump the water in, they manage how the water flows through each of these different ponds, and as the plants grow, they will start sucking up all the nutrients, and a lot of the waste and even heavy metals will be held in these plants. The water then is pumped over to Richland Chambers Reservoir and or Tarrant County, which is over by Fort Worth, and it's used for drinking water. So these wetlands provide clean drinking water and a way to purify the toxins out of all this stuff that we're dumping into the waterways. At least part of it. A lot of the river still flows through. They're only pumping a portion out. But in doing so, they made these incredibly cool wetlands. And there are so many different species of ducks and other wildlife. The list would be huge to list. Lots of reptiles, lots of birds, lots of amphibians, fish. This is just a really wonderful place. It's helping the environment, and we're helping clean our own drinking water and clean up our own mess. Another one of the cool ponds out here. Lots of ducks out here on this pond. You've got a lot of coots right there. I've seen a lot of northern shovelers and even lots of ibis too. We'll see if I can get a video of some ibis here later. On the back area there's a lot more ibis than here in the front. But it's so cool to see all this wildlife and life. Now, right now it's the end of winter, so things haven't really started growing back in and turning green yet. But here in a couple months, this whole area and all these ponds will be full of American lotus. American lotus is basically like a lily pad, but giant, a couple feet across. And these have the cool pods, seed pods that you use a lot of times in aquariums. You'll see people use, and also they're used for decorations. Let's see if I can find some of those too. Well, I found a good example of how they do water management around here. This is one of the gates. On the other side, it's got lots of water. Check it out. And that's where we were looking through. Pretty cool. Now let's look at the other side, where we were just at. So at some point, they could open up that gate and start water flowing through here. And if you look, there's even water higher over there too. It's really cool. Okay, just a little earlier today, I was accidentally able to sneak up on an alligator. Let's go see if we can find them. That made me jump a little bit. I wonder where our little buddy's at. Oh, there he is. Found him. He's probably a little 4-foot alligator. Look at him, isn't he cute? Nope. He's done. Oh well, that was pretty cool. Hey, I had a really good day today. I hope you enjoyed the information I shared about this area and some of the video. I was not able to go back and find an ibis, the photo or video. I found a couple, but they took off before I could get my camera on them. But I did find the cool American alligator, and I got a short clip of that for you. I also found a bald eagle, a juvenile and an adult, red-tailed hawk, and a kestrel. I got some photos of the eagles, but none of the hawks or the kestrel. But it was a really good day today. I hope you enjoyed everything I offered, and please find an area like this in your area and explore it. If you're coming to Texas to hit a wildlife management area, make sure you get the small little permit. It's like $12. It helps support conservation, and it's a really it gives you access to all of the wildlife management areas, and there's hundreds of them. Well, my time is up. I've got a couple hour drive back to my house, so take it away, guys.
Welcome to another What Clamps My Fins. My name is Jim. Today we're going to tackle the fishy business of spreading false and misguided information in the freshwater aquarium hobby. Somebody decided they wanted to text me and talk about the freshwater hobby. Wonder who that could be. But all seriousness, guys, it's no secret the aquarists, both seasoned and new, often turn to online forums, social media groups, and even their cousins, neighbors, uncles, friends, palm reader for advice on carrying their aquatic pets. Come on. Seriously, you're going to ask the palm reader? I don't think so. While this can be helpful, it's also the perfect breeding ground, not for guppies, but for misinformation. Guys, this is a touchy subject right here. Now, let's take that classic myth, the goldfish only growing as big as their tank. I'm guilty of it. Did it back in the day. Don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah, you. Don't do it. Cute, but not true. In reality, goldfish are a biologically designed fish that grow much larger. Up to a whopping 12 inches or more. Got 3 or 4 of them downstairs in the basement, my friends. I can show you if you'd like. They get big. They don't deserve to be in a 10-gallon tank. If given the proper care and spacious environment, keeping them in a small bowl doesn't stunt their health. It's quite painfully damaging their organs over time. It's like shoving you in a little coat. Just stuffing the little fat guy in a small coat. Now you feel all cramped? That's how that fish feels. Anyway, another whopper, and we're not talking about Burger King. Adding more fish keeps your tank clean because they eat more algae. Sure, Karen. Let's solve the garbage problem by inviting more roommates in to make a bigger mess. That's stupid. While some species like plecos can, munch on algae, they get big too, by the way, so don't get the wrong pleco. They don't replace the need for good old-fashioned freaking tank maintenance. Let's not forget the fish emergency hotline favorite. You can use table salt to treat your fish. If you use table salt to treat your fish, you're stupid. Table salt is iodized salt. You don't need that. You need the purest form of salt. You can use Himalayan pink sea salt in moderation, but you need the purest form of salt. I will do a segment on that here soon. Newsflash. Dumping pink Himalayan salt into your tank isn't a cure-all. It's a great way to give your fish a one-way ticket to Stress City. Forget about it. They're going to swim with the fishes if you give them too much. Aquarium salt and even other salts, when used correctly, can help treat certain issues. But it's not only one-size-fits-all remedy, folks. Muck into disbelief. Yeah. Now you might be wondering, who comes up with these rumors? The answer, well, meaning hobbyists who may not know any better. That's why it's crucial to cross-references advice with reliable sources, like scientific studies, reputable aquarium guides, experienced professionals like myself, Jesse or Tommy. You can even reach out to some other people, like Mark Pyle. He knows what he's doing. There's a lot of us that know what they're doing. Remember, your fish aren't just decor. They're living, swimming responsibilities. Folks, they're a pet. They're a family member. When you get them, they're part of your family. You have to take care of them. You can't dump them on the neighbors and say, I don't want them no more. You can, but you better hope it's me that's your neighbor, because I'll take them. So the next time someone tells you their bed of fish is thriving in a vase or suggests you add vinegar to your tank for aesthetic bubbles, kindly nod and back away slowly. Better yet, help steer the hobby towards the accuracy and knowledge by sharing it with them. Share some truth. Share facts. Share good information. That's all for tonight, folks. I am your aquatic aficionado, Jim. Until next time, stay informed, stay curious, and for the love of Neptune, clean your frickin' filter. Yeah, clean it.
Now buckle up, boys and girls, because it is time for Who's in the News. Breaking update on the Plywood tank race to the finish between the UK's finest, Graham at Aquarium Adventures and Sean at Noisy Aquatics. Graham has now completed his plywood tank, has been water tested, and is functioning according to all specifications. That one will be going down in the spreadsheets for sure, won't it, Graham? And Sean has become one with the fiberglass. As his method of doing it has changed, he has gone with a new method of doing a fiberglass interior on his elaborate plywood fish tank. So we will keep you updated on this one again as the story unfolds. And in other news, the fish keeping hobby's very own skeptic, Skeptical Aquatics, is blowing the lid off of the Japanese underground aquascaping hobby. I urge you all to go check out his video on that title, the underground Japanese aquascaping hobby, and see what you think. Could there have been a rival to Takashi Amano? Somebody else that maybe didn't want as much publicity or to put as much of a label on a product? Again, I urge you to go check it out and learn about Hiroshi Kitahara, the rival to Takashi Amano.